Hello and welcome to another edition of TSL Talk. After our rest and rotation policy, we've got Adam Smith back joining us. Adam, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm glad your comedian work is not as good as your journo skills, mate, from last week's performance as well, so lucky you're a good journo.
Thanks for that. I'm going to start off with a whinge and a moan today. TSL is supposed to be the prestigious team, the prestigious competition in Tasmania. Just there's a few little things that are bugging me at the moment. I've been looking on the internet site for AFL Tasmania's for the State League. They've had the scores up there but haven't said which club is which. The ladder that's sent through hasn't been up to date with the rounds. There's no record each week for the competition. It comes out, once every 2 months. And we still don't know what the media policy is exactly. I mean, there's been some announcement that there's going to be, but we're not quite sure if it's advertising or if it's, if it's programming. It's not good enough for the state's best competition, is it?
No, not really. I mean, the program's a funny one. I mean, everybody goes to footy, and another thing on top of that is a lot of the clubs, you look at the players that you get in the program and their numbers don't match up on their jumpers as well, and now it's easy for us because we can go in and check team sheets and whatnot, but if you're an average punter going along to a game of footy and you're looking at your program and there's guys running around that aren't on the team sheet and in different jumpers, it does make life difficult. So that's my biggest one, but yeah, there are a few teething issues I think at the moment they need to get sorted out.
And the whole slogan is "It's better life." Well, if you're going to want people to come, punters to pay money to go along, you want to make it a good experience, and surely having a program, having the right jumpers, having these little things make it more attractive to people to keep going back to the footy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's in the program. Every other league probably in the country has a program, don't they? The SFL still do it, and I'm sure the northern leagues as well. You go to an AFL game and you get the big booklet that you can flick through before the game and have a look. So I'm not sure why they can. It's probably costing issues, I'm assuming, but yeah, maybe they need to look at bringing that back just to make the experience a whole little bit better.
Now on the positive side, it's good to see South Lonnie making inroads and maybe showing that they could be around that finals mark this season.
Yeah, there's been big question marks on them for the first 3 years. They've obviously struggled and only won 5 or 6 games, I think, and North Launceston, they're a funny one. It seems to happen every year. They struggled against Devonport in the opening round, push Launceston round 2, and then go down to South Launceston. It's I don't know. You saw them against Lauderdale last week. They obviously have improved a fair bit, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they definitely have. I mean, obviously, fit and healthy Mitch Thorpe at centre forward. I mean, that's a great starting block to build your team around. But these guys like Musica and Blackberry and Joby Harper, they got these young guys, and they now have probably got 30 or 40 games under their belt. They're making the mark. On the flip side, you got to see Hobart's performance against Clarence, and it's probably what a lot of people feared going into the season.
Yeah, it was the result that Lauderdale probably should have done in week 1. The conditions didn't help, and North Hobart could have, but inaccurate kicking and didn't put them away in week 2. So Hobart are really struggling. There's no doubt about that. They didn't really have a dip on Saturday, to be honest. Clarence, how you can reel off 12 goals in a quarter and 6 of them in a 6 or 7 minute block where Hobart pretty much didn't touch the football is it's a little bit disturbing. Some issues out there. Anthony McConnell, the coach, will keep even post match tried to be as positive as he could, but he did admit that they threw the towel in, and how they bounce back will be the big one.
Do you think Clarence has improved from last year? We saw they missed out on the grand final last year. There's been a big change over coach personnel, especially in the midfield. Are they a better team than last season?
Hard to get a gauge in a game like that. I mean, you win by 150 points against a side who was that bad on the weekend. You can't really tell too much, I don't think. I didn't see them in round 1. They were obviously okay for 3 quarters against Glenorchy. Their midfield depth, which probably we've questioned the last few years, a heavy reliance on Cameron Thurley and Jackson O'Brien, who's not there. They've got a bit more of that now. Jared Watling's come down. He was the quietest of them all, ex-Smithton player. But they've a bit more depth in there is the big one, and there was actually, I think, a tweet on the weekend from Brett Gaven, the former coach, who suggested Hobart was worse than the Devonport and South Launceston sides of the last few years, so that's probably saying something.
It is, and you touched on Glenorchy, and they're still yet to win a game, going down to Lauderdale, who are now 3 from 3.
Yeah, Lauderdale, that's the best start they've probably had, I'm assuming, for a long while, and they probably have to be a genuine, top 3 chance now, don't they? Glenorchy again, big turnover of, lost a couple of experienced players, and whether they've hit their groove or not, I'm not too sure.
And Adam Derbyshire's come back for Launceston this year, and he's slotted in beautifully. 7 goals on the weekend in Lonnie's comfortable win over Devonport.
Yeah, handy addition, isn't he? I'm sure any other club would like to have him. It was a big first quarter up there. Bit surprising maybe that they didn't go on and really record a big 100-point victory, but whether they took their foot off the pedal or Devonport showed a bit of fight after quarter time, you know, that could have gone either way. So, but Derbyshire, Brian Finch, Nathan O'Donoghue floating up forward, it's a pretty potent forward line.
It looks like a few teams have improved. You know, Devonport still lost by 70 points, but last year that would have been 120 at least. South Lonnie look like they've improved. Lauderdale definitely look like they've improved, and you know, maybe even Burnie have improved from last season.
Yeah, well, it's only good for the league, isn't it? I mean, realistically, Hobart at this stage in the early seasons probably look as the only real easy beat. Hopefully they can improve as they get some more games and mesh as a team. I mean, 10, 12 different players, it'll take a while, but you know, it's good for the TSL. It's what they're trying to do, and now they just need to get their programs right and get the people back through the gate.
Just probably just touch on looking ahead. Burnie played Lauderdale this weekend down at Lauderdale. That should be a cracker.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. Lauderdale's probably their first real big test. You know, as good as Glenorchy could be, and South Launceston on the improve, playing a team that many probably predict to be in the grand final. We'll get a good chance to see where they're at.
Adam, well, thanks again for your thoughts, and remember, for all your TSL stories, pick up your copy of The Mercury or go to The Mercury online.